There's all this happening. Been pleased. That's not you.
Okay, I do believe that we are now live streaming, although the owl unfortunately is a bit too high. Let's see if I can shrink it down a bit. Down for me. Right, let's try and. Everyone just come and look at the screen, just let me know if you can see anything now.
That's me. So do you want me to?
This one.
New sheet.
Yeah, because it wasn't showing any faces.
It's showing just Steve at the moment.
Okay, that'll be fine.
That is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you good to go?
Okay. Yeah.
Good evening. And welcome to the Advisory Planning and Licensing Committee meeting of June the 24th. So first item is apologies have been received from Councillor Dickinson, who is substituted by Councillor Hayter, Councillor Clifford, who is substituted by Councillor Bound, and I believe we have one more.
Councillor Harmsworth.
Councillor
Yeah.
Harmsworth has also sent his apologies.
So you're going to propose?
Yes, I'm going to propose that. Does anyone want to second it? Councillor Taylor seconded, and we'll take a vote on.
Thank you very much. That's unanimous.
So, second part is, are there any declarations of interest regarding items on tonight's agenda? Yes,
so-
councillor.
I'd like to declare an interest in Marchese House. It is, not only is it in my ward, it is also very near to a property that I used to live in and now rent out.
Okay. Anyone else? No. So, yeah, vote. Do we just,
We'll just note those.
we'll note that.
Thank you.
So, 3 minutes of the last meeting. I propose that we approve the minutes of the last meeting held on the 27th of May 2025 as a true and accurate record. So I propose it. Anyone second it? Councillor Danny. And we'll take a vote on that. Anyone?
Show of hands, please. 5, 6.
6.
6 in favour.
And anyone against? Abstention. Abstention.
Thank you.
Well, part 4 is the public participation, but we don't have
We have nobody.
no public to participate. So we'll move straight on to public to part 5. Planning applications for discussion. First one is the land at Newton's Road, Weymouth. Does anyone wish to discuss?
I'll just ask, has anybody noticed anything different from when we passed this before? We recommended it before.
So
Because I had a bit.
the last application was for outline planning permission. This is a reserved matter, so it's a bit more of the finer detail.
Right, okay then.
Does anyone else have anything to say? John?
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
generally in favour of it. It's good, again, like many of these developments, we want to see it happen. So we certainly want to raise any obstacles. It was good to see that the footpath proposed runs from the existing Newton's Cove, so that's a plus. That there'll be a reasonable, almost circular route. I was slightly disappointed that you can't carry on down the breakwater, because if that would have been fantastic. So I could say we regret that it doesn't look like it's going to be possible to carry on down the breakwater, and if they could consider that, it would be appreciated.
James Chairman, I think you find that's because that's owned by the MOD.
Ah,
And those buildings, yeah, I used to work at Binkley's. Those buildings are still used. for testing purposes.
So we probably can't get
And I
that.
think the SBS also use them, but we could possibly know.
Okay, we'll have to let that one go then.
Yes,
In that case, no problems, just would like to see it happen.
you're right. I used to walk out at lunchtime. I used to walk out along the breakwater. Yeah, it's a shame we can't, but I think we'll find that that's not actually better.
Okay.
Doubt we'll be able to change their mind on that. Anyone else? Any comments? Any other comments?
Okay, so councillor Orrell, do you want to make a proposal?
Yeah, just welcome the existing proposal. I would encourage the developers to see if it's possible to extend the walkways in any directions. Because either on the breakwater or to the Undercroft walk, because both of those would be great additions.
Okay, ask developer whether it's possible. to Consider extending the walkway. Sorry, not as fast on here as I am on the,
No, it's fine.
down the breakwater. Or what was the other one?
There's kind of underball, the kind of walk that goes along the other side. of the cliff,
Undercroft.
Undercroft walk. Next to either of those, it would really enhance it.
Okay.
Yeah, can I, yeah,
Councillor,
I'm
yeah.
really just following on from what Councillor Orr said there. I did notice that there's the walkway that comes round from Newton's Cove and the one that comes round from the Undercroft, the Underbar walk there, and they don't seem to meet up. And it seems like that's really nothing to do with whether you can walk on breakwater. It just seems there's about 10 metres of space there that you can
They
join
could have-
those two. If they could just join the two up, then you've got a good walk all the way round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're spending millions on road improvements and landscaping. It's such an obvious one. It would make a great improvement for dog walkers and
Yeah.
cliff walkers.
Okay. So is this an actively support?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's proposed by councillor Orrell. So then you.
Councillor Young.
Got it, yeah.
Okay, so the next,
We need to show.
oh, sorry.
It's quite all right.
Dashing on here. Can we have a show of hands?
Lovely, thank you. So,
All done?
Yeah.
So next one is the Marchese House. Have we got any comments on Marchese House?
so this one was amended plans or further information.
Yeah,
So I would like to point out that this is partly funded by Homes England. And if we do not get spades if there are not spades in the ground by the end of July, that we're already past the deadline for that funding. And if there aren't spades in the ground by the end of July, the funding will disappear, which would be a huge shame. So I would like to propose that we accept the motion. We accept the plans and thoroughly encourage everybody to get on with it.
As a technical term.
It just, it can be, I mean, I understand that there have been several technical matters holding it up, which has been unfortunate. But I think we're finally over that now, so I really hope we can get moving on it now that that's all ironed out.
Yeah. They do, the Dorset Council Planning Officer and Planning Committee do like to have a material reason to support. When we.
I should know more about what material reasons I should know. I mean, it would be great for the community. And it would be great for the town to have social housing. And it would be great if there wasn't a pile of rubble where there used to be a building in the middle of one of our communities.
and it's also affordable housing.
Yes, it's all affordable.
So.
Every dwelling is affordable.
Okay, so we need a proposer for that.
I believe I tried to propose that. I'd like to
Yeah.
propose that, please.
And a seconder, Councillor Day. And now we'll go through a show of hands. Or should we just skip that bit?
Yeah.
So we now move on to 46 Camp Road. This is one I brought up. Basically, this is a row of houses. One in the centre of this row of almost identical houses has decided they want to put a porch on the front of their property. Now, that in itself isn't so bad, but when the porch sticks halfway out to the road, I think it's going to be a bit too big for the property.
Do you want to have a look at the,
Yeah, shouldn't you?
yeah,
Open up the-
yeah, just bear with me. Okay, let's see, so it's.
I will add that I'm not strongly opposed to the porch idea. I just think it might be a little large.
These sausages for me. So that's your existing, if you can see it,
That's
there's just like a little canopy over the front door.
That's not what it looked like when I looked.
That's the existing.
Oh, that's
It's the
existing, yeah.
just a little canopy over the porch and the proposed. Is that? There we go.
That's a conservatory.
Yeah.
To me, that's a little
Yeah,
extensive.
I agree. That's a conservatory, not a porch.
That's not like a porch,
No.
or like another room on the house.
Yeah.
You're right, it's very, very close now, isn't it?
And also, if you look at those houses, there isn't another, there's one right down the far end that has a very small porch, fair enough. But all the rest are flat, right along the road. And I think that's probably too large.
Yeah, I mean, but I think, yeah, there's a porch on the front of these houses to replace their canopy, not bad
Yeah.
idea at all, a small porch, where some would be, you put your shoes and something.
Yeah.
But that's a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So
I think they need to rethink that.
I propose that we put an objection into this porch. On grounds that it's too large and it changes the whole complexion of the row of houses.
Isn't the thing, it's in front of the building, like, it's
Yeah.
in front of the house. Yeah.
The rest of the houses all line along and they're all virtually identical houses.
So we're not saying a small porch, or a porch itself is not that thing.
No, it's just the size of that porch is too big.
Okay,
Right, so well, I'll propose it.
okay, so we're going to the seconder for that.
Any seconder for that? Councillor Hayton,
Okay,
and we'll have another show of hands. Okay, so that's 5-4. Any
I'm gonna abstain.
abstain and an objection? One
Sorry,
objection, one
one
abstention,
objection,
and 5-4.
one against, abstention.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We have two planning applications that were received shortly before legal dispatch. Following the planning. We have to decide whether there's any comments we'd like to make on them. First one is flat 34 Union Court, White Road. Does
No.
anyone have anything to say on that? Okay,
So that one may well move down into the next.
yes, we can,
Yeah,
we've moved that down into no objection. And then the second part is the Fairhaven Hotel on the promenade. Esplanade, I mean, again, does any, John?
I probably will discuss that.
Sorry,
and
Councillor Oral.
At the risk of delaying or return home, discuss that one and the other two that are kind of eating places as well, which is Custom House and King. And the Kika Bar, so pull out of the left section and if I may, but I'd like to discuss those, all the ones that are kind of eating establishments.
Okay, so seeing as we're on Fairhaven Hotel, do you want
Start with
to,
that one.
yeah,
I'll pick these three out because they're a bit more prominent. A lot of the applications do look relatively modest, like this in the window. But these are more substantial, and I think I'm going to back them all because I think they're all these are all quite vital establishments for our economy as a town. A lot of hotels and pubs are really struggling and closing. So the fact that people are prepared to invest in them and enhance their properties, get more punters in, is something we should encourage. So I looked at the Fairhaven one. It's I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it's pretty decrepit. It's quite a narrow passage. It's all needs sorting out. So very positive to see this. So I'd like to put a positive encouragement for them to proceed on ground of economic development.
Yes. So,
yeah, the grounds of
Yeah.
economic development. Development, yeah, so proposer, seconder.
okay, proposed by councillor Oral,
Yeah,
seconded by councillor Day,
yeah,
and we'll go for a vote on that. And that's unanimous.
mhm. So the flat 34 Union Court, we just need a quick proposer, seconder and a vote for it to drop down into the no comments.
So, propose that we, councillor Day proposes, seconder, councillor Font,
Yeah,
councillor
that's
Taylor.
right, I got it. Okay,
Not
yeah.
making a lash up of this at all, no.
And just a show of hands, please. So we're now.
Right, so we're now section 6, planning applications, no objections.
And councillor O'Reilly wanted to talk about a couple on here.
Yeah. So councillor Oral,
Yeah, well, I'm afraid we'll have to do one at a time, even though the comments are identical. So Kika Beach Club, so a bit further along the Esplanade. A lot of them have built out, and there's new sitting outdoors, and it's it works. Look from a distance, you've still got the fine Georgian Esplanade, but it does mean that all these businesses are way more viable, and it's been quite an improvement for the town having this kind of outdoor culture. So again, I'd like to give a positive support for this.
and it is in that section of road where there are other places of the.
Yeah, they're all actually.
Yeah.
It's not out of place.
No. So, do we take a vote on that?
Yes, please, yeah.
Okay, so we need a proposal, which is councillor Oral, and a seconder, which is councillor Hayter.
Yeah.
We'll just go for a vote on. Okay, that's unanimous.
Now, my next question is going to be, does that same apply for the full application and the listed buildings consent? That's right. Yeah. You all on that one?
No.
No? Right at the bottom of that one, of item 6 is part of the Fairhaven Hotel and LBC application.
It's the same.
The same?
Yeah.
Okay, we'd better just have a quick vote on that one.
Okay, so
So-
proposer,
So
So that is-
same comments as before,
Yeah.
as councillor Oral is proposing,
yeah,
and councillor Day
yeah,
is seconding. And we'll take a vote again by her.
thank you,
So again, it's unanimous.
lovely. To discuss any more of them.
Does anyone else have Councillor Oral,
Yeah, the customised key one, but make two to four customised key. Is retain canopies and erect a pergola. Again, very, very supportive. It's something they've been doing for the last few years because the neighbours are all doing the same. It's in there. I've noticed there's been some objections in the comments. But there's been support as well from one of our previous councillors putting support, pointing out that because it's made out of wood, it doesn't look out of place among its neighbours. The environmental health said finish by 11 o'clock, which I think is a very good thing to back. So I'd like to back that one. And the other, to put just a slight caveat is I noticed they've had speakers, music speakers on the outside of the building, which would be fine for their own customers, but it does kind of spill over to their neighbours. So I'd like to put some limits on there, either not having speakers outside or at least having them at the volume where they're not heard by their neighbours. I want to split them fair on neighbours. Because there's some good restaurants on there, they don't necessarily want to listen to the same music.
So,
So there's a few things there. Yeah, so it's positive, completely in favour of development, because it encourages the economy to have the canopies and the new pergola with servery. But with a recommendation that it ceases trading at 11 o'clock at night. And there's a limitation on the volume of the music such that it doesn't disturb the neighbouring businesses.
okay. So do you want to put that as a conditional response?
Yeah.
Okay.
and I guess you're going to propose that.
Yeah, but generally it's a very good, it's a great pub. It's because it funds the profits from it, fund the Samuel Miko Trust, which then helps a lot of our students, college get their cookery equipment or building equipment. So it's a great establishment. It's been going for 300 years. So I'm very in favour of the George. Just to see a few little tweaks.
Okay.
So we need a seconder for that. Again, councillor Davis. And we'll take a vote on that. And that's unanimous.
So now we just need a proposer, and if there's no others to discuss in item 6, we need a proposer and a seconder for the standard response of we support this application and raise no objections.
So can you, can we have a proposer for the councillor Taylor and seconder, councillor Oral, and we'll move the rest of those, we'll vote on that. And that's unanimous as well. Okay. Then we've got to 6, 7,
Yeah. So.
tree preservation.
Yeah, there's no.
Item 7 is tree preservation orders, which we don't have in it. Item 8 is planning applications responded to under delegated powers.
Yeah, so these are details of tree works that have come in for trees that are covered by tree preservation orders. And our standard response of Weymouth Town Council supports this application, however, requests that at least 2 climate change tolerant trees are planted in view of each tree that is proposed to be removed. So that item is just for noting.
We don't take a vote.
We don't need to take a vote, it's just a vote.
So we move on from item 8 to item 9, which is licensing enforcement appeals and FOMOS.
Yeah.
Yes. You need to comment on this.
So these are the ones we were chatting to before the start of the meeting. So we have 3 appeals to consider. The first one being for 21 7 Acres Road. The appeal is proceeding under the Household Appeals Service. There is no opportunity for Weymouth Town Councils to submit comments. However, Dorset Council was forwarded all representations made to them on the planning application to the planning inspectorate and the appellant. These will be considered by the inspector when determining the appeal.
This was the one with the large balcony that we discussed before. The massive balcony that was looking in people's windows.
Yeah, so we're not able to submit any further comments. However, if when town council wishes to withdraw its representation, it is able to do so.
I don't think, no one's got any comments on that, so.
And there's the Dorset planning decision
Do
notice
we
there.
need to vote?
Well, what we need,
Vote on the whole lot.
what you need to decide is whether or not we leave our
Comment as was.
comment as was, or whether we want to withdraw it.
Councillor
I
Lloyd.
can leave the comment as it was.
Yeah.
To long have to make the decision.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that proposed by councillor Oral?
Yeah.
And seconded by councillor Thomas,
Yeah,
and we take a vote.
yes, please.
We are unanimous.
Okay,
So the next one is for Milton Close, Weymouth,
yeah,
the installation of a heat pump.
Yeah.
It's an appeal to the Secretary of State, again, the same.
and again, as it's proceeding under the Householder Appeals Service, we have no opportunity to submit comments. However, again, we can decide to leave our original comment with the planning inspectorate, or we can withdraw it.
Councillor Oral,
Was our original comment our standard supported one?
Yes.
Yeah, it was our standard comment that the council supports this application and raises no objection.
Okay, I propose we carry on with that.
yes,
Same.
okay, so you're going to propose
Yes,
that, seconder,
Yeah.
councillor.
Yeah, and yeah.
And we'll take a vote,
Okay.
and it's unanimous. And the last one on this section is Hillfield House, 181 Dorchester Road.
Yeah, so this is a different type of appeal. It will be determined on the basis of written representations, which means we can either submit further comments or we can modify or withdraw our previous comment. So our previous comment was our standard comment that the council supports this application and raises no objection. And there is the reason that Dorset Council refused it. Proposed development would comprise of a housing development that would be unduly squeezed and cramped in nature, resulting in an incongruous form of development in Milton Terrace and detracting from the existing established character and appearance of the application site, which has a character of built development which gradually diminishes in height when viewed along Milton Terrace.
I would just like to say, I know that site and that is a very small area to build two houses and extend an office into. So maybe we should think about withdrawing our original comment and just leaving it at that. Anyone else got any interest, anything to say? Well, I'll propose that. Anyone second that? Councillor Hayes seconds it. We take a vote. We've got five
Yeah,
in
five.
favour and
I'm going to abstain.
abstain and
Abstain.
one,
Abstain.
two abstains.
Okay, so that's to withdraw our comment.
Yes, to withdraw that comment.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
so now we do have a licensing application. Premises license for the Hut Smokehouses Limited,
Yeah,
13A Custom House Keep.
Sorry, can I declare an interest at this point? I'm vice chair of licensing at Dorset Council. So I'm not going to make any further comment other than that declaration of interest.
Right, okay, fair enough. We note that.
yeah.
Councillor Oral,
Okay, so this is again in my ward, I'm gonna be in favour of this one. It's in the same place where we had that really excellent pizza. Dorset pizzas before,
Mhm.
real shame to see them shut.
Mm.
But so it's exactly the same, it seems to be on the same floors. That last establishment didn't cause any trouble, it's and I looked through their application, it all looked in order. It's got policies for preventing disorderly nuisance and protecting children, so I think we should support it.
with this one, is this, just
That's a licensing
Oh, it's an
application.
application.
Yeah, so we need to consider the 4 licensing objectives, which are the prevention of crime and disorder, prevention of public nuisance, public safety, and the protection of children from harm.
I think I think it does meet the licensing objectives and I would like to support it.
Okay.
So, anyone else have any comments first off? No one, right, so we'll go for a proposal, which will be councillor Oral, and a seconder, which is councillor Joe.
Yep.
And we'll take a vote. We're all, sorry,
I'm gonna abstain, sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
So item 10, pavement licence applications, we have none. Item 11, other development consultation, sorry, none. And 12, traffic calming and parking restriction request, none. So we move on to item 13, the traffic regulation order for Dorset Council off-street parking places consolidation, order number 4.
Yeah, and this is just one for noting, it's just informing you that the order has now been made.
Right. So we move on to item 14, which is information items. Which we have 7.
Yeah, again, these are just for noting, not
Yeah.
asked for comments.
So moving on, 15 emergency items, none. And that brings us to the end of this meeting.
Yeah, and if you wish to stand down again. I'll just go and stop the lights on.
Working for the town.
Services, well, thank you.
Tried to add a bit, but it didn't work.